So good morning. The current time is 24 minutes past 6. If you couldn't gather by the title, and if you haven't guessed by watching me so far, I have got up early to come and watch the sunrise over the beach. I live on the east coast of England and it is a short drive for me to get to the coast. I haven't been very often at all recently for a couple of reasons. One, it's winter, so like I just wouldn't come to the beach. Two, the lockdown. Three, I just haven't thought about it. But the other day I was casting my mind back to some of my highlights of my time in Australia, and all of them are to do with the fact that we either watched the sunrise or the sunset. And you're probably thinking, Molly, you had to link this in some way, didn't you? But yes, I did. I travelled the east coast of Australia and I live on the east coast of England, and the sunrise is in the east. Like, no matter where you are in the world, the sunrise is in the east. I am gonna go and sit on the beach slash the beachfront because the tide is really high, and the sun actually comes up in 8 minutes from now. So I'm just gonna vibe. To be honest, I just really felt like a moment to myself. I knew it would be quiet. I knew it would just be like dog walkers and me, and that this was just gonna be the absolute best way to start a day, like a complete fresh start, watching the sunrise over the water. So this is my view. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to hear me because of the wind. But it's actually so peaceful here, like what the hell? Guys, you can see how empty this is. I kind of want to go down there though. Yeah, I'm gonna head down there.
Without cares and worn out clothes, doesn't seem so long ago. Now I'm just sitting here bored at home, and it really got me thinking of the times we took off on the road.
I just walked past this man who was so nice, this guy over here. So windy you can't hear me. He was like, good morning, and I was like, oh yeah, it is. It feels like a good morning. Like, this is just, there's something about beaches, there's something about sunrises. My hands are freezing cold, which is another thing, but that's fine. I should have brought gloves. Guys, I have my own little tiny bit of the beach just to myself. It's 5 minutes until official sunrise, which I'm imagining is going to be like here. And it is about -1 degrees right now, but it's honestly not even bothering me. Look at this, look at this. I think beaches might be the most peaceful place just ever, and I'm really glad I've got to come down onto the sand even though the tide is high. I'm just hoping that this cloud doesn't block out. Like, I hope the sun still eventually comes up over the cloud, you know, which I'm sure it will. Oh look, can you see it turning a funny colour over there? Can you see that? Is that the start of a sunrise?
I can't remember where we headed that night. We were cruising around town in Memphis, running the lights. I just know how it felt. I won't forget that. Windows down and open top, but we were clever not to take it too far. Though it's hard not getting tempted, calling you up to see.
I'm gonna get wet here. I'm gonna back up a little bit because these waves are a bit like menacing. I love the ocean, but it does scare me a little bit. Like, I do think these waves are quite powerful actually. Okay, it's 1 minute to official sunrise. The sunrise is at 8:39. 8:39? No, 6:39. I wish it was 8:39. 6:39.
We did back then. Way back then.
Guys, the sky is getting so bright now.
It's funny how times roll by.
Guys, look. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Like, there's an actual sunrise, and I know that it's cloudy, but I kind of think that that makes it, to be honest. Look at it. It's just peeking through. I mean, I wish it was warm, but we'll take what we can get. You would never know that this is literally the east coast of England. Look at what you're looking at. That could be like Spain.
Where'd you go? What's the score? Did you find what you were looking for? I never see you anymore. I can't remember what we did that day.
I reckon in a couple of seconds the sun will come like above this cloud.
I'm steam in Paris, but I wanted to stay, cause I know how it felt when we raised hell. I won't forget that. But we were clever not to take it too far, though it's hard not getting.
Guys, a tragedy occurred. Oh my god. I'm not doing this because I'm excited to do this because I'm so cold. I'm not going to complain about it because I don't feel mad. However, when I was leaving, so I was standing there for about 15 minutes watching the sunrise fully, and then I thought, okay, I'll just walk down the beach a little bit, head back towards my car. The biggest wave, and I was stood there for 15 minutes. I thought I'd gauged the kind of height of the waves. No, this random wave came out of nowhere, splashed all over, completely all over my feet, my trainers, my socks, my lower legs and my leggings are soaked as if I've just been paddling in the sea. Apart from the temperature of the water must be below freezing, it's so cold. I'm probably gonna get hypothermia. I have the heating on at full blast in my car. I'm gonna head home and I think I'm gonna get a drive-through breakfast. This is probably my favourite thing I've done in a very long time. However, just purely because this video would be boring if this was the whole video in itself, I did ask you guys for some topics and some questions on Instagram last night, and I'm thinking like, this video is so stripped back, this video is so just raw and honest. Like, I'm sitting here at 6 in the morning, I haven't got any makeup on, I've literally rolled out of bed into the car to be here for sunrise, and I'm so glad that I did it. And I just want to have this, like, a chat with you guys. I don't know if you could hear the audio much whilst I was down there, but like, I really don't think there's anywhere more peaceful than a beach. I just think, I don't know if it's just something with me or if it's with everybody, but it just makes me feel so calm. And I think that especially at the moment, I've felt a lot more anxious than I have done like in a long time, and I think that coming to the beach is something that does always kind of calm me down. Obviously, I'm not saying go to the beach if you live in the middle of like Birmingham or like the Midlands. I'm gonna answer some questions now actually while I'm parked up, because I actually think that if I do a few now and then get breakfast, that might make the most sense. So I asked on Instagram, as I said, although this Instagram story hasn't been seen by that many people because something weird is going on with Instagram at the minute actually. In fact, that's how I'm gonna start. Social media. Instagram is like such a hard ball game, and I feel like anybody watching this that is either trying to do it as like an influencer or just even using it as like a regular user, I think they've really changed their algorithm in the last couple of weeks. And this week they took likes away, but a lot of people haven't had likes for ages, and then this week that disappeared, and then a few days later I just randomly got it back. And I think the way they push their content out to people is so bizarre, and I just don't know how it works. So if anybody has any tips on how on earth the algorithm is working on Instagram, like, I feel like that's the kind of question people would come to me for, but I just don't know the answer. And I was speaking to my manager about it the other day, and she was like, nobody knows. Somebody said, please could you tell me the size of your Tommy Hilfiger coat? I wear this coat in a size small, however they don't sell it anymore, but they do have a very similar one, but I wear this all the time. It's my favourite comfiest coat. These questions range so much from like, what size do you wear in this? Do you believe in aliens? Please talk about mental health. A lot of people. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this because this isn't something that I'm like deliberately trying to not talk about. It's just something that hasn't really come up. I hope you can hear me. Somebody said, please share how you've lost weight, you look amazing. Please share how you've lost weight during lockdown. Quite a lot of people are asking that. That's because either you've obviously noticed that I've lost a bit of weight. Secondly, I did actually post about it on my Instagram story the other day a little bit, because I was asking about where I could buy jeans from. First of all, I think the biggest thing that's going on at the moment, and the biggest thing that I want you to take away from this, is that you absolutely do not have to come out of lockdown having lost weight. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you've gone through a pandemic, do you know what I mean? And I feel like you've heard other people say this a million times, so I'm not going to rehash it, but I just want to really reiterate the point that like, this is not me saying like, oh yeah, I was trying to lose weight for like lockdown. And I know this is a touchy subject and a difficult topic for a lot of people, so I'm not going to really dwell on it, but in all honesty, the main reason that I've lost weight is just purely from a point of I haven't really been happy, and that is not a healthy way to lose weight, and I'm not promoting that at all. But if you're wanting my honest answer, that is my honest answer. I think that the lockdown have affected me to a point where I just don't really have an appetite a lot of the time, and that's not me being like, oh, I'm just not eating, because I am eating when I'm hungry. I think whenever I'm anxious or whenever I'm sad, I'm just a bit off my food. Like, that's always how I have been. That's not anything like dramatic, and it's nothing to do with how I want to look. That's not me consciously thinking I want to lose weight. It's just me thinking I don't really have an appetite. So because of that, combined with the fact that I obviously haven't been eating out or drinking, I don't know, I feel really, I've just sat and been like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I want to be raw, but I feel like this is actually quite a personal thing. If you've watched my channel over the last year, you will know that I was aiming to lose a little bit of weight anyway, and that is basically all I've lost. So the first lockdown I was working out a lot, and I did notice some differences in my body. So like, I think it's a combination of the fact that the lockdown has made me feel pretty rubbish. I get 10,000 steps every day anyway because I walk the dog a lot, and combined with the fact that I haven't been eating out or drinking. So if you wanted an honest answer, that is it. But I think that my lack of appetite, especially during the second and the third lockdown, has made me lose weight. But I also know that when all of these restrictions lift, I likely will gain it back again, because I will be going out to eat and I'm not consciously trying to restrict anything. Does anybody agree? Because I know I have a lot of friends that when they're stressed and when they're upset or when they're going through a hard time, they also lose their appetite. But then similarly, I have other friends that would affect the other way and they would eat more because of that. The lockdown has affected everybody differently, you know, and I feel like I was just really honest accidentally. I'm gonna go get a Mackey's breakfast now. I don't want you to think I'm trying to promote losing weight. That's what I'm always so scared of whenever I speak about it, but similarly I do want to have honest answers and be honest with you guys. This is not how I expected this video to start. Mackey's, let's go, go, go. The time is now 7:45. As you can see, the sun is like up, and I have parked up in the car park at McDonald's. I've just got my order, although I didn't hear what the guy said because I can't hear when people have a mask on, apparently. He gave me a bag and I heard him say something. I just presumed he said like, here you go. Turns out he didn't. He said, wait there while I get your drink. Guess what I didn't do? Didn't wait there while I got my drink. So I started driving off and he was like, wait, your drink. And I was like, oh, so awkward. Had to do a little back up. Oh god. Sometimes I think, yeah, I'm a fully fledged adult, and then other times I'm reminded that actually I'm painfully awkward. I got an egg McMuffin. Somebody said, how do you feel about everything going back to normal in June? A lot of people asked this actually. How do you feel about the roadmap? How do you feel about the end of lockdown? For me, June just can't come quick enough. I am so desperate for everything to be back to normal, or like as normal as it will be, which potentially by June we'll be fully back to normal. Never had a McMuffin without the sausage in it before, but should have got ketchup. So to be honest, I feel positive, optimistic, hopeful, but similarly I have absolutely zero faith in the government. Just look at everything they've already promised us and it's been taken away, like Christmas and the other lockdowns. Every lockdown we've had, it's like we're not going to do another lockdown, and every lockdown we've had another lockdown. So I do feel like it wouldn't surprise me if it didn't happen, but I'm desperate and hopeful that it will, for everybody's sake. On a personal level, if you take everybody else away from it, of course I want my life to get back to normal, of course I want to continue the life I was living before, but also from the point of view of like businesses and financial security, jobs and opportunities that might be struggling. And I think that, okay, I'm very fortunate, like my dad's obviously kept his job and my boyfriend's kept his job, but a year down the line you just don't know what the case will be for those businesses if this continues. I know people at work in like so many areas where actually their job is going to be on the line, and I think that that is terrifying, and it scares me because I think, what is the world going to be like 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Even if this does end in June, like financially we're just going to be crippled as a society. Anyway, somebody said self-love or self-motivation. I don't know, I have a lot of thoughts on it, and I'm not somebody that's overly like, yeah, I love myself, I think I look great, I have so much confidence, because actually I'm quite awkward. I think that comes off in my videos, like, think I'm just quite normal in the sense that I'm a bit weird, but if I have to be, I can be quite confident and I can be quite outgoing, and I will be the spokesperson for a group, and I will be the person to stand up and be like, I'll do it, I'll talk, I'll go. Like, I don't have a confidence issue, it's just depending on who I'm with. Like, I have friends in my immediate like friendship group that are more like that than me, so I'm happy to let them take the forefront. In terms of self-love, I really think that my biggest thing is just to stop caring, because I used to be so self-conscious about absolutely everything. I would never have filmed this video without makeup on. I would have been so worried about, I don't know, going into the shop and seeing somebody from school while I look like this, which just isn't the case anymore. And I spoke about this in my vlog last week. I just think that I've got to a point where I don't care that much. And similarly with every avenue of life, like I used to be really conscious about my job, really embarrassed to tell people what I was doing, but now I just think, so what? Like, I don't care. The friends I have in my life obviously don't care either, so what else do I really need? I've burnt this a little bit. A lot of people are asking, do I feel overwhelmed about things going back to normal in June? I don't feel overwhelmed. I feel, to be honest, I haven't given it too much thought because I'm not 100% sure it will happen, obviously. I think actually my social battery is running very, very low. Like at the moment, I'll do a Zoom like one night a week and I'm drained. And it's not because I don't want to talk to my friends, it's just because I literally don't have the mental energy and the mental capacity for like social interaction. And I do think that I'm very quick to be like, I'm so excited, let's go clubbing every night, but actually I'll be so tired from stuff like that. And I don't just mean physically tired, I mean like drained, like because my body's not used to it. I do know that a lot of people are really anxious about it. My mum's quite nervous about it, a lot of my friends are, so I see all angles. Responses and opinions on hate forums and the effect it has on other influencers. I'm not going to go into this too much because I honestly think that talking about hate forums is giving them ammunition and airtime that they so desperately are craving, and I think that anybody that posts on them are the lowest of the low, to be honest. Like, I don't have any opinion other than I think that, what kind of human being do you have to be really to spend your spare time ripping into people and like slagging people off that ultimately you've probably never met and that you don't know? You really are a bottom tier person, and I don't feel bad about saying that because they obviously think the same about me and other influencers that people write about on those forums. And I think that it's disgusting, and you were probably either a bully in high school or bullied in high school, and obviously your own life is really not great. I don't even want to get into it. It makes me so mad, and it also makes me feel on a personal level so incredibly anxious. dangerous. If you're deliberately making somebody feel belittled and like they are literally on the edge of a panic attack, what kind of person are you? Also, that little light spot on my nose is making me look like Rudolph in reverse. Circle of life. Oh, my car's just timed out. Okay, turned out I was really thirsty. A lot of people are saying, talk about the pressures of being in your 20s, jobs, houses, boyfriends, relationships, etc, etc. A lot of people are saying that. Do you feel pressure to have your life together now that you're in your 20s? Do you feel pressure to get your life together now you're going to be 22 this year? Okay guys, come on. Let's not. Honestly, my answer to that is yes and no. I think that everybody's 20s are completely different. Like, everybody's on a different life path. Some people might see me as like automatically ahead. I just spat, that was disgusting. Automatically ahead because I didn't go to uni, and then some people might think actually I'm behind because I didn't go to uni. That light is really annoying. That light, that's the sunlight. It's very, very weird because I have completely different circles. So I have a group of friends that obviously do YouTube, and not even friends, like a group of peers, I guess, or the people that do this job that I know on a personal level that maybe I'm not that close friends with. So I have my immediate friendship group that do YouTube. So like Eve Bennett, Liv Rupp, you know the gang, that gang, they are on YouTube as well. But then I also have a lot of people that I know from doing YouTube that I'm not close friends with, but I still know. So like just people that I watch that if I saw them in the street I would say hello to. So like, you know, Anastasia, Unjaded Jade, Kate Elizabeth, there's tons of people, like different people that I have met in the past before, spoken to and had conversations with. I think in a normal job you have like work colleagues, but in this job you don't have that. So I guess those people are like the equivalent of that. Recently so many people have moved out that I have felt a pressure to move out, and I feel like, oh my god, if I don't move out on YouTube soon, like am I even relevant? Everybody's been moving out, like financially could move out, but I just don't want to move out. But should I be feeling that pressure from that external source? Because I've watched so many people move out and move into houses, and I was watching Saffron Barker renovate her house the other day, and I just think that is literally what I want to be doing, but I just don't want to be doing it yet. But should I be feeling stressed that so many people online are moving out and doing things like that? And then I look at my own life and what I want, and I remember actually I don't need to be influenced by that. And then I think about myself in the setting with my school friends, where absolutely all of my school friends still live at home, other than the fact that they spend a lot of time away at university, so I guess they kind of have moved out. And I think that it depends who your circle is as to how much external pressure you have, and I think I have some strange angles on that. I have loads of other plans that I want to do first, like traveling, which I've said loads of times. It's easy to be led, and I can see that point of view from a viewer as well. If I was a 21-year-old viewer of these people on YouTube doing that, and I personally could not afford to move out, I think I would feel a little bit of pressure. I think I would feel like, oh my god, other people my age are doing stuff like this. Should I be doing stuff like this? I can't afford to do stuff like this. I think I would have that. Oh my god, is that the police? I don't know why I get so stressed every time I see the police now. I think they're gonna just arrest me for being in the wrong place, because I'm like, is it even legal to be parked up at McDonald's? I don't even know. But ultimately I think it's better if you're just on your own path, on your own little track, just like vibing with life. Everything happens for a reason, and I do believe that. I do think that, okay, I haven't been able to travel this last year, but maybe that is for a reason. Like, you just don't know what's going to happen. I could meet somebody next year whilst traveling that could lead me to an amazing job opportunity that I wouldn't have previously met otherwise if the pandemic hadn't happened, and therefore everything goes back to, well, actually you just don't know what set of circumstances is going to happen because of that. So that kind of thought helps me to not stress about the future and helps me not to feel like I need to compare myself. Okay, somebody sent me a dilemma. I'm going to keep it anonymous. I'm not a fan of my best friend's boyfriend. We all get on okay, but I don't think that he's suited for her. Do you think it's my place to say anything to my friend about it? There's been a few things that just don't sit right with me. I have a gut feeling. This is a really hard one. I think I've definitely been in this situation as well, to be honest, because it's like, how far do you go? Do you cross the line and do you say, actually I don't like your boyfriend, or do you just let them be happy if they obviously do like their boyfriend? But I think if you've known your best friend for a long time and you think that genuinely they're really not compatible, the way he's treating her maybe isn't right, it is kind of your place to say, look, I don't know if that's right, and I don't think that you're the happiest you could be in this relationship. You're in a position where you can be quite a good judge of character and quite a good judge of what is and isn't good for them, but it's so hard because I am the kind of person that would think that and then be like, oh, I don't want to say it, I don't want to fall out with them, I don't want to cause an argument, I don't want to have beef. Like, I definitely have friends where I'm very good friends with them, but their boyfriend isn't somebody I would choose to be friends with. That's adult life, isn't it? I guess some people are gonna be with or marry people that you don't necessarily like. If it's just from a personality point of view and you're like, oh, I don't really vibe with him, maybe don't. That's tricky though. Other places that you would like to live / travel plans. Okay, so I always include travel plans, but they are ever changing and I do want to do do a little update because it's a tiny update, teeny tiny. Other places I'd like to live. I would like to live in Australia. Whether I think it will happen or not, I'm not too sure. To be honest, I don't think it will happen, but I like the idea of living in Australia, but obviously it's a huge lifestyle choice and a lifestyle move. In the UK, used to be fixated with the idea of living in London. I've spoke about before how I don't want to do that anymore unless the opportunity was like a job came up that I literally could not say no to, and I was like, okay, yeah, I will move for that. I tend to look in what I call the M62 corridor, where Hull is at one end and Manchester is at the other, and in the middle is Leeds. Slightly north of it is York and Harrogate, and I just tend to look in that area. So it's like York, Leeds, Harrogate and Manchester are where I look at in terms of like potentially settling in the future. I don't have anything completely against the idea of settling back slightly closer to home if I've got all my travelling out my system, if that makes sense. Like, I want to see the world and I want to go to so many places before I decide I want to live on my doorstep of where I've grown up. However, the lockdown has really changed my view on that, and I think that I am so lucky and privileged to live in a beautiful area. I live by the coast, I live in a really beautiful town, and my family are here. So I don't want to necessarily put distance between that deliberately unless it's for a reason. So say Tom got a job or I got a job or the perfect house came up, which is why I always look in the same M62 corridor, because that's like a 90-minute strip of land. In terms of travel plans, I sort of do have some, and I don't want to jinx anything, so let's all touch wood. Tom and I have booked a holiday for the end of the year, which I booked last week. I wasn't going to mention this, but then I think actually I'm just going to talk about it because I'm not bothered. We've booked to go to Greece in September. However, everything is free to cancel and no prepayment, so I actually haven't paid anything. So I don't feel as though I've taken a risk with that, like no money is coming out. In terms of next year, Tom and I do have a rough plan to potentially maybe travel for like a 6-month window, which I'm so excited about. It's going to be quite a big decision, and a lot of things need to kind of like go right in order for it to go ahead before we even think about booking anything. The main one being obviously Australia needs to open its borders. Currently you can't get to Australia. That's a big issue. Originally we were looking at going to Oz to do that time like solely in Australia, but then I think actually if we're taking that time and Tom's having all of that time either off work or out of work, more likely, do we want to see more of the world than just one place for 6 months or however long we go for, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months? Do we want to see more than just one place? And I think the answer is yes. So actually we have spoke about traveling all of Asia together, which wasn't ever on the cards, but is something we've spoke about recently. There's a lot to consider, not even to mention obviously money, budgeting, where are we going to stay, when are we going to go, which order are we going to do it in. Like, nothing is set, it is just an idea. And sorry, the camera just cut off. Oh my god, my head is super itchy with this hat on. But yeah, we have a rough plan, and fingers crossed it gets to go ahead, because I just think the content would be the absolute best I've ever made. If we went backpacking together, I can't even tell you how excited that would make me for my YouTube channel. Because again, I don't want to jinx anything, and I think I sat here this time last year being like, oh yeah, I'm so excited to go to Thailand and Bali, and that still just hasn't happened. Yeah, I'm gonna drive home. So this was very different. Thank you for waking up at 5:30 in the morning with me. I hope that this video was laid back, chilled out. If you've gone back to school or sixth form this week, I hope it's going okay. I hope that everything is as good as it can be and all of the mass COVID testing is going okay. As I said, give the video a huge thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I can definitely do more laid back content like this. Do you know what I can't believe? I can't believe I've got to the big age of 21 and I've never been to watch the sunrise on the coast when I live on the east coast. Anyway, I'm gonna go, so I should be back on my channel on Thursday with another video. So I'll see you all then. Bye.